Okay, so this is what I'm going to do to get new wing nuts on here. These are the ones that are OEM, come with it. You already know if you already have a big red, but I've seen them online on eBay for, it was like $10 and change, so close to $11, and it was another like $11 to ship it, which is ridiculous. I'm not paying $22 for one little nut. These I get, so what I did here is I tighten those down, but I got a bunch of wing nuts, 6mm and 6mm bolt. These are hex heads, didn't really matter. I was just looking for a 6mm, and I just screwed them in all the way up till they tighten up. But what I'm going to have to do is tack weld them right there and there. I'm going to leave the heads on it because I was going to cut them off and just put them in, you know, flush and put a tack weld up top here, which would work, but I don't need to go through that extra step of cutting them off. This way I'll have the wing nut, and if I have just a drill with a Allen wrench, I'll just zip zip. I think it'd be a lot, might as well use it to my advantage. So these were cheap. I can't remember what I paid for these. Bunch of wing nuts and a bunch of 6mm bolts online, but it was a lot cheaper than paying for one of those. So I'm going to make those now and show you what else I'm going to do. Okay, probably doesn't need a gasket, but I'm gonna make one. I got this O-ring assortment thing anyway sitting around. It's looking pretty thick. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I'll do is I cut a bunch of these, glue them together, and make a big O-ring and get that in. Okay, they're glued together. I bet I only used 4 of these. Cut them. That's all I had left for waste. Not bad. So make sure there's no seams on corners or anything like that. Fits down in there pretty nice. Probably don't even need this, but you know, it'll help seal it, I think. And for the tops, ones I just gave them a coat of primer and a quick coat of paint. think we'll just go with small one. Put that on there for when it, that way it'll seal the top too. Let's see. 2, 3, and 4. That one feels a little too big. Did I grab the wrong one? I think I did. What's this one here? Yep, that's it. Okay. Alright, let's get back on the machine. I already got the filter a little dirty. Tried hosing this off a little bit with the, even with the seat on it though. Oh yeah, can feel that settle right in. That's good. See it drawing it right down. Don't need to over crank it. Nice and tight. All right, feel better about that. Well, I think it's time to take a look at the seat finally. I'm kind of excited to do this one, something different. Seat pan seems to be in pretty good condition. It's all pretty solid. This one's a lot different than the 350X I did. I learned on that. This will only be the second one I do, so I'm kind of anxious to see how this turns out. But this being a metal seat pan, it's got the, if you can see the metal, I don't know what you call them, not spikes, but the part of the seat pan pokes through. This doesn't, you don't staple this in like you did with the 350X. I think they might have went to plastic on 84, I think 84, 85, I'm not sure. It was right after this, so this one's actually in pretty good condition. I won't go through the whole thing. I'll do more of a come back and see what it looks like after I get done, and yeah, let's see how this turns out. So that was kind of tedious, but not horrible. I'm gonna have to clean these up with, just think I'm gonna hit it with a wire wheel real quick along that. Give it a little half clean up, but just this rust area I want to clean up a little bit and hit it with some anti-rust stuff, some primer with some stuff in it. If you do this, just be careful. These things are sharp, so it seemed like everywhere I went to grab there's sharp metal sticking out. And I noticed it had this edging that went along the whole edge. It probably helped keep the seat from the edge cutting into the seat, you know what I mean? So I'll probably try to reuse this, even though it's kind of not in the best shape, but I don't have anything else. So I mean, I could layer that with just a little bit of tape. Maybe tape will be better. Yeah. And yeah, let's get the new one on. So the seat cover is on. It's not perfect. I know this camera bends stuff a little bit, but I got it the best I could. This side might be just a little bit higher than this side, but Once it's on the machine and you got the rack across there, you'll never notice. It was not easy, especially when I realized my seat pan was bent. So it wasn't perfect, but got the hardware wire wheeled and back on. Let's see. Let's see if I can get in. If I can see any of these spots. I was off quite a bit on some of these trying to do it. I started with the front first, and it was too tough to get the back in. So if you do this, I recommend you start with the back, get that lined up. Dirty. Go with the back. See, yeah, over here it looks like it's pulled back a little bit there, more than it is here, but once it's on the machine, you won't notice. Oh, like I was saying, yeah, start with the back and get that done and work your way forward. And I didn't go consecutive. I got the back row done, then I jumped to these high, well, it would be low points, and got those in, and then just taunted these as needed because it was tough. These were tight right in here. And basically the same thing here. I jumped over to the front corner and just taunted as needed. And then the front was the very last thing I did. And get that over. And just basically just poked them in and laid them flat. So yeah, that's done. Let's see it on the machine. Yeah, much better. That'll all settle in. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Still working on the fenders. I just have them in set in place for the moment. As you can see, I have no supports. I just threw a box under there to keep it level. Much better than that tore up one. Again, it's a rider, so anything's better than what it was. I like it. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, let's finish up the fenders. What I've been doing with this, a lot of these got wallowed out when I was taking out those fender mud flaps. So I decided to do some epoxy, mix it up, and fill in the holes. What I did was I put tape over the outside, and then it gave it kind of a flush thing. I might give it a little sanding, and I'm probably going to have to hit that with maybe just a little, you know, just cover up the red here and just give it a touch, a little bit of red, just to blend it in a little better. I mean, it's better than what it was. I don't like the holes in there, but I'm gonna have to drill holes through the epoxy and probably still put oversized heads on these, and like they would have used for the fenders. And I don't know if I just leave them silver. Oh, wind's really picking up. Slam the door shut. I might have to just put the oversized bolts in. Maybe it might cover all of it. I'm not sure. Just still kind of just messing with stuff right now, see what works. I think anything's better than what we had. So I got to do these two end ones and the other two end ones. So I'll do that now. There, I got a little more plastic welding done. This was so wallowed out, there was nothing for the screw to even connect to. I did a little bit of epoxy. I put a fender washer up in there to keep that the right size, and that also gave me where to place the hole in the middle. So I drilled that out. So let's see if that'll help that out or not. There, that's a lot better. Got all the decals off. Got the ones that were broken up and falling apart. I got new decals already. Got the fenders in. Still got to work on these little, I'll even call them plugs. Got the decals off the back. Everything's screwed in. Still got a little bit of a gap here, but I don't have the supports hooked up yet. The supports hook into the rack that goes across here, so I'm not done with the rack yet. So that'll close up this gap here, straighten those out a little bit, but I gotta wait for that. Got the grab bar hooked up, trunk's installed. That's a deep trunk too. Got the tail light hooked up. I could turn that on too. There we go. Coming along.